Hey guys, welcome to Daniel and Gian Talk, and today I will be reviewing the 2019 film Good News. It was Akshay Kumar's last film of 2019. And the way I'll be reviewing this movie is I'll be breaking it into two parts, doing the positives first and then going into the negatives. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, this is the moment where you should pause it, go watch it, and then come back, then continue the rest of the review because this will be a spoiler review. I went and saw this movie in the theaters and it was a packed full house, and as a result, when the jokes landed and they really freaking made me laugh, they were making everybody else laugh, and that's always a good experience. And unfortunately, when I go to watch Indian films here, that's not always the case. It's most of the time just me in the theater, maybe one other person. If things are funny and I'm the only one laughing, it just doesn't feel the same as when you're just with a packed full house and just people are laughing, because you just feel more like, okay, this is gonna be a good time. And I really did have a good time. That's the good news about this whole review, is it is a good time at the theater. I personally loved Akshay's performance. He threw it away, and what that means, it's an acting expression where instead of trying to be theatrical and this, you kind of just throw it away and you just act normal, act yourself, and just be like, fuck it, whatever. It was very reminiscent of Vince Vaughn movies 10 years ago or so. If you never watched Vince Vaughn and you watch this movie, he was playing characters like that. And I just like this kind of down to earth, but also a very good guy, strong and supportive and things like that, your typical male. But I enjoyed that dynamic for this film. And I'm not saying all men need to be written that way. I'm just saying for this particular film, the fact that he wasn't this preachy guy and he was willing to literally at the end of the movie smoke a joint and laugh and have fun, I enjoyed those moments, because there were other moments that I enjoyed as well. There were some meta moments that I enjoyed where he was mentioning Kasari and things like that. I'm watching Kasari. I mean, those moments were funny too, and it just felt like Akshay was having fun, and why not? That's great. As a whole, the acting was actually great all across the board. I believed all the performances, and the film did other things like discussing the smaller moments. I mean, the fact that you had the two wives and you have their conversation in, they're going to get street food and they're eating the food and it starts to, those little moments really did establish the dynamics between them. And I did enjoy that. The arguments in the doctor's office and these character building moments through conflict really did resonate with me. There are little things like Akshay Kumar genuinely not caring about the baby at first, and throughout the narrative being forced to learn to appreciate, to care about the baby, and we actually see this change happen, really is rewarding and really is nice, and I enjoyed seeing the character arcs as well. The first song I really did enjoy because it set the tone and the mood for the entire movie, to be honest with you. The other songs were necessary, but that first song really did get me pumped up, and I was just feeling it. The movie was just a little bit too long. I definitely feel like there were scenes maybe could have been shortened, could have been shot in different ways that maybe could have condensed time and just... But that's just me. Especially there was the bar scene that was great at first, where they have this dynamic, this conversation, this camaraderie building moment, but they get in a big fight, but it just wasn't a believable fight. It actually just felt longer than it needed to be. But with that in mind, even though I said it was too long, there were still things that I felt were underdeveloped, especially the other couple's relationship. You do get some exposition moments, but you really don't understand who they are as a couple. Really spend time with them from the beginning of the story. They're not introduced till at least an hour or so into the movie, and as a result, when you do spend time away from Akshay Kumar, it actually feels kind of sad. I just yearn for more scenes with Kareena Kapoor and Akshay Kumar together, because they were just so great. It almost made me not want the other characters to be there. Not to say that I did not enjoy what was there, but it really was Akshay's story. And because we didn't get the other couple introduced from the beginning, that conflict established from the beginning, it felt a little off for me, personally. I could be wrong, but that's just me. There was no epilogue either at the end of the story, and this kind of really bummed me out because the movie just ended. The child is born, and that's it. I wanted to see something else, and whether it's a year later at a birthday party and just something else, not necessarily to set up a sequel, but just some moment of genuine happiness of them maybe growing up a little bit, just to see where they're at. Again, an epilogue, just to kind of close out the story properly and let it settle and let the audience go out there. Instead, it was kind of abrupt, and I wish there was just more. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I just wish there was more, even though I said it was too long. Ironic, right? And then the doctors. Man, were these doctors fucking incompetent for running one of these in vitro fertilization clinics. I mean, I was with the characters being angry as shit too. I mean, the lady doctor, hoo boy, I could see why they were getting mad. But then they were doing something, you know, D&T Dynamite, he shared with me, longtime friend of the channel, shared with me an article about how actual doctors are offended and they want to sue the movie because they're basically leading on customers that this isn't the case and how it works. I don't know. Either way, it's ridiculous. Just let movies be movies. And what did you guys think of the film out there? I'm very curious to know what you guys thought. Did you guys go out and see it over the holiday weekend? I know I did, which is why it was a packed house and I enjoyed it. How was your theater experience? Did you have any fun moments? And yeah, Happy New Year, guys, and I'm glad to be back, and we'll see you on the next one.